Shalom, shalom, following Yeshua, welcome again to the Rock, and we are doing our Jerusalem artichoke planting video, how I do it. Now this area you're looking at right now, let me get a better view. I planted them here last year, right there. You can see the stalks right there, and they did well. As you can see, I cleared all this, going down to that log. So all this is new area that I've cleared. Now I've already planted this area, planted it in probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago with a seed. But this area right here, I have not planted. Well, kinda. So wanted to show you how I do it. Now I have 2 rows here because I'm going to be doing it 2 different ways. One way I'm going to show you with using some of my rock-produced compost that I produce here, fertilizer I produce here. And the other way, I'm going to show you without fertilizer. And as you can see, I was digging this row right here, and I ran into one of my other Jerusalem artichokes that was planted here from last year, and you can see it's already putting out roots. I dug it up on accident. So we're just going to put that one back. And so I'll show you how to do the rest. Now, as you can see, this is typical Ozarkian soil. Rocky, extremely rocky. And they still grew here last year. But of course, this is what I end up doing, is I ended up burying, after I plant them, what I do is I end up burying them with leaves. So if you want to do that, you can. You can see how I'm putting pine needles down in this area. I'm putting piles of leaves down, bark from some of the trees. Anything that's carbon and that'll break down, I end up burying the artichokes with it once I'm finished. Because you can see the soil. This is your traditional compacted Ozarkian soil. That's what it'll look like when it's finished. All right. So there's not some scientific process that I do. For this row right here, the smaller row right here, I'll show you what I do. So I have a tub of my own produced compost here. And all I do is drop a layer in the trench. Now, if you're planting these in pots, first of all, you'll control the spread a lot better. But number 2, if you're planting it in pots, you can use regular potting soil or whatever. And what I do, now this is just me, is you can see I've cut some of these artichokes. So get the sun. I've cut them like you would cut potatoes. And that's what I actually plant. So you want to make sure you have some nodes. If you do choose to cut them, and that'll help you spread them, you want to make sure that there are nodes on it. And you can see this one right here. I was trying to show you that one of them has already started to put out some sort of growth. The one right there. That right there. So some growth has already started to take place. So if you're doing it in pots, you would just, I would say, get a big enough pot, or a 5-gallon bucket would be good. I think a 5-gallon bucket would be great if you were trying to grow like you do with potatoes, and put them somewhere in the middle, dead smack in the middle of the pot, the bucket, probably about 2 to 3 inches deep. 2 to 3 inches deep. So again, let me make sure I put down enough of the compost. Now, the ones I planted here, I did not put any compost down. But this is probably how I will be doing it from now on. So if you do cut them, you also want to make sure that you leave them outside so that these will kind of develop a callus, a hardness on the cut side. Otherwise, if you cut them and immediately plant them, you risk them molding in the soil, developing mold, or simply just decomposing in the soil. So you want to make sure that you cut them and let them dry so that there's no wetness on the cut side. And then what I do is I simply put it on the surface, or put it in the soil, just like that. Then I'll move over about a foot, drop another one. Move over about a foot, drop another one. And just keep doing that. Now, I also am known for planting these by just throwing them into the trench. But for the sake of showing it, I see that piece right there, that molded. Now that could still produce, you know, there still are some healthy nodes like right there on it that will grow. So I'll put one right there, and I have a little small piece. I'll just throw it in there somewhere. Then simply bury the trench back in. Oh look, another one that I just accidentally uprooted. And as you can see, it's already grown its root. So I'll just put that one back in the soil. Cover that one. Just bury the trench in. Now, I didn't do this because we had some hard freezes. And if you bury them good enough, they will make it through a hard freeze and still produce. So, like the ones I planted over there already, I'm sure that they are fine, because you saw the ones I just pulled out of the soil with the roots on them. They were sitting out here all winter and nothing happened to them. I've had people ask me, now I don't know, you know, depending on what area you are in, I had people ask me, you know, well, if I want them and I'm in, you know, say the northeast, will they survive? I don't know. We've had freezes down here this year into the teens, 13, 12, 11, and as long as you keep, I would say, an insulation barrier on top of them, they should make it. Even our aloe vera, which we all know freezes will kill aloe vera in a second. Well, my aloe vera made it this whole winter, and all I did was, you know, we grow ours in a tire, and we wrapped it with plastic and then mounded leaves in there about 1.5 feet deep, and our aloe vera made. Now the leaves died off, but the roots and root zones stayed alive, and it's already starting to come back. So that's the first way you do it, with compost. The second way, I'm not going to put any compost down. So there's no compost in this trench. And all I'm going to do is just drop them in here. So just drop them in there. And then cover them. And this is my extremely scientific process. Now, I've had people say, I had a hard time growing the artichokes. If you want, and if you can, you know, just to make sure, you can actually put them, mist some water on them. Mist some water on them and put them out in the sun where there's enough air. You don't want to put them in a plastic bag because they will mold. So put them in the sun, or put them on a plastic or a paper bag. Even you can even put them in a paper bag. Take a paper bag, make it so it's like a tunnel. Take out the bottom part of the paper bag, put your artichokes in there, spray them down, and leave them in the paper bag. And you should start, as soon as you start seeing your nodes turn green, that means that they're going to start growing. And from there, it's cakewalk. Just put them in the soil, wait till you get that root, put them in the soil, and they will start to grow. So that's the process. So after this, what I'll do is I'll get buckets of leaves, and I will cover this. Or you can use straw. You can use shredded cardboard. Anything that's just going to add a little bit more soil and a little bit more insulation for them, especially if you still have some more freezing temperatures coming, or it's still a little bit colder where you are. That'll insulate them a little bit better. So this is how I plant my Jerusalem artichokes, and as you can see, I've had ample growth. I'm going to walk you over to another one of my Jerusalem artichoke gardens. We've had this one for three years, I believe. And yeah, you can see all my gardens are built with a heavy amount of leaves. But let me take you over to there's another garden we're going to be growing specifically basils in here this year. All different types of basils. You can see my mint coming in nicely. There's some lemon balm right there. I'm just showing y'all some things. Some lemon balm that spreaded. Oregano. The chives came back, doing well. Spearmint, more lemon balm, wormwood, all different types of herbs that we have here. But this is my primary Jerusalem artichoke garden. And you can see all the stalks that are still up. And we have been eating out of this garden all year. I mean, all winter. All winter, and all we ate from was this area right here. We've had Jerusalem artichokes almost every meal, and just this area right here is what we've eaten from. That's it. All the rest of this has not been touched. And we're feeding a family, over 10 people. Over 10 people have been eating, and this is our third year, and this is all we've eaten. Once they get established, they're gonna take over. They will take over. So let me see if I can even show you some of them. Like these logs right here. Oh, see, here's one right here. Another seed. And the soil here was just built off of wood chips and anything that I could find laying around, leaves, sticks. That's how I built the soil in this one. Let me move this log up. As you can see, there's one right there. Right there. One right there, just hiding underneath here. And you can see the earthworms like it. I mean, I love this way of gardening. It's not as invasive. I don't till. Oh, here's one right here. But these are what I consider seed artichokes. My bigger ones that you've seen before, those are the ones we eat. These, we'll usually just put them back in the soil. There's another one right here. We'll put them back in the soil, cover them, and call it. That's it. Another way is once they get established, you may find some green artichokes. That means the artichoke wasn't completely buried. Those make excellent seed artichokes also. And they will grow kind of like potatoes. They will continue to come back year after year. So I hope this is helpful as far as you growing your own Jerusalem artichokes, you having a successful harvest. If you have any more questions, let me know. I'll do the best that I can to answer them. Plant them. They will take over an area, and you will have an excellent source of vitamins, minerals, and carbohydrates. And the good thing is, let's just say you found an area in your property and you put them there and you didn't really want to eat them now. You could just leave them there year after year after year, and they'll continue to spread. They'll get bigger, and when you do need them, you have them. Now, we like eating them. We like eating them because of the amount of nutrients in them. But I know a lot of people are planting them for the sheer fact of, as times continue to get bad, they want a reliable source of carbohydrates and food. And these, for me, are a lot less, there's a lot less work than potatoes, because you can just leave them here, not worry about them ever, and year after year they'll spread and get bigger, and they break apart your clay soil like it's nothing. I mean, they will literally break apart your clay soil. They will grow amongst the rocks. They will grow underneath the rocks. They will push the rocks up. You know, we had this rock right here actually got pushed up slightly from them growing underneath it, and actually slightly rolled the rock from the rock started off in that, wait, nope, started off right here, and as they've grown year after year, because we started them here first, now it's over here, and we still are digging Jerusalem artichokes out of here. So I'm hoping I can get my basil growing here this year. But anyways, I hope this video is helpful. Again, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Bless y'all, and shalom.